The discussion of mental health is such a serious subject, and in a global pandemic like the coronavirus, whenever you're watching this from the future when hopefully we've recovered to even the present right now, it has had a mental strain on everybody, including me, in ways you couldn't imagine. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips that help me cope with stress and anxiety caused by the coronavirus. And if you are new here, welcome. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Check out the links in the description below. And I hope you're all staying safe and staying home. Anyway, let's begin. So in times of crisis, such as the coronavirus pandemic, or a recession, whatever it is, many of us all around the world are dealing with various strains and forms of stress, anxiety, and related mental health issues. And for the record, I am not a doctor, I'm simply a life coach and an online broadcaster commentator who shares his experiences and opinions on things. However, in a previous video, which I will link in the cards, where I shared my personal experience of tragedy, anxiety, and overwhelming stress caused by this very pandemic, I have learnt a lot of lessons how to cope, and perhaps things that might even help you in your life and your struggles. How? Well, all I've done really is follow the guidelines and stay home. I'm self-employed, I can work from home. I'm very fortunate for that. But what the point of this video is the fact that it's more the way I handled the situations that were thrown at me that was actually quite inspirational to other people in my life and around me and who had heard what I've been through. So that being said, in what is most likely the most difficult and emotional piece of content you will find me producing on the SCG show, I'm going to show you ways how you can overcome this crippling sense of anxiety and what I did to help me cope through the stresses that I endured. Now please understand, this may not work for you. However, they did work for me. And if you can take anything from this video, maybe just watching this video or reading this blog post if you're on our website, it will give you that calming sense that everything's going to be okay. And I'm here to tell you that everything will be fine. Okay? Let's begin. In a world with social media and so many other distractions, it's very easy to quickly forget what is going on. And the fact is, it's bigger than all of us. And, step 1 is understand, come to terms with, and accept what is truly happening. 7 or 8 weeks into lockdown and seeing loved ones and friends, close friends, die from this awful virus, this unforgiving virus, still made me a little bit numb to what was really going on in the bigger picture of the world. Until only yesterday I watched a very gripping documentary about UK London hospitals dealing with many patients, how they dealt with it, the possibility of running out of oxygen, people of all ages and all underlying issues, no underlying issues, and how severe this truly is. The virus is serious at the end of the day, okay? So if you're out sunbathing and breaking rules with friends and, there's not a care in the world and you don't care what you're doing, I'm not talking to you. You're a narcissist, you're self-important, you're more, you're too selfish, it's not really deeply impacted you, and you're probably not watching this video. So what I mean by understand what is going on basically means, in the way I've interpreted it, as this current situation, this is war. Yes, we are at war with an invisible, faceless, yet deadly enemy. So therefore, any form of normal life at all will not resume until that enemy is completely eradicated and defeated. So everybody's going to be asking, well, how do we defeat the enemy? Well, from what I understand, antibody tests and a vaccine to truly defeat it. It's not herd immunity. It's nothing like that. We need a cure. Simple as that. I'm not saying that we can't adapt in the meantime, social distancing, to our lives and everything. But to truly defeat this nasty virus, that's the cure. Let's compare to the Spanish flu or the influenza that happened in 1918, a far more deadlier disease that killed around 50 million people. And the Spanish flu was so bad, like people were bleeding from their eyes, their ears, their nose. It was awful. It lasted 2 years, or even longer even, and came in 3 separate waves. Now, war may be scary. I get it. It's terrifying. Okay? And yes, the virus is a horrible, awful thing to even consider. You wouldn't want to wish it on your best friend or your worst enemy, nothing like that. God forbid your best friend. However, I'm reassuring you here, it will pass. These dark times, these uncertain times will pass. For almost 100 years, we never had anything as deadly. Yes, we've had Ebola and stuff, but as the Spanish flu. But sadly, right now, at the publishing of this video, we do now. So yes, history may be repeating itself. However, the good news is this dark moment will pass. We're coming to grips with it. We're coming to understand exactly what is going on. We will get through this. We will beat this as a human race. The whole world is in it with us, okay? We will see our friends and family again. Normality, I swear to you, will resume. I just don't know when, okay? So, understand, come to terms with, and accept the bigger picture of what's going on. Number 2, be prepared to carry on making sacrifices. Now, no one may have congratulated this on you yet, but I will. Well done for staying at home. Well done for, as difficult as it is, not seeing a family or not going out or whatever it is. Well done. Despite in the UK people returning to work as of the 13th of May, right now, of me making this video, or, the people never going into lockdown in the first place, sacrifices are key to beating this virus properly and to you managing your anxiety. However, assuming now you understand the true nature of what is going on, it's bigger than all of us, and you've accepted it and come to terms with it, it is important to realize how far you've come as a person also. I know people who live in a 1-bedroom or studio apartment and they cannot be near or close to anybody, or people with underlying issues who still have to social distance to survive. Yet they're still here, they've survived, and they're still with us, and God forbid they're not ill. The same goes for you. Whilst your anxiety and stress may be extremely peaked right now, beyond control, it's the worst it's ever been, it is also important to realize that you've come quite a long way. So pat yourself on the back right now and say, well done. All you've got to do is keep going. You've survived 100% of your worst bad days. Okay? You can keep going. By simply doing this and continuing to sacrifice certain freedoms, rituals and so on, you and everybody all come closer to a resolution. A great tip that has really helped me is practicing gratitude for minute, tiny things that will really help you with your coping. Tiniest of things. Be grateful for your family. If you've lost loved ones, be grateful for the other family and the support and the love that you've got. Be grateful for having a roof over your head. Even if things are getting difficult and you can't see a way out of the future financially, be grateful for having that right now. Be grateful for the food that you're eating and the water and the juices and the drinks that you're drinking to keep you hydrated. Be grateful for your friends that are talking to you on house party, or if you have no friends, be grateful for anybody that you've got in your life. Be grateful for YouTube, like I was in my dark times, who were almost like friends for me, teaching me lessons that nobody could have ever taught me. And also, connected to that, be grateful for technology to keep us together. Just jumping on a Skype call with family friends all over the world raised my spirits tremendously. Gradually, as this war against the virus eventually, God willingly, comes to an end, we'll be getting even closer to our lives resuming normally in a healthier, safer manner too. Number 3, expect the worst and hope for the best. People always seem to worry, and then 90% of their worst fears never transpire. Funny that. And you've spent all that time, all those months, all those years worrying about absolutely nothing. By adopting this kind of stoic mentality in this truly difficult time, you are more prepared mentally to deal with whatever life throws at us. As much as we want to be positive, which we all are, life is no picnic, and this pandemic is a bloody good indication of that. By expecting the worst, you are mentally preparing yourself for what life is going to show you. Now, I know what you're thinking, but SCG, this is just going to make me even more anxious. True. But that is your mind playing tricks on you. Even when my back was right up against the wall and a loved one was tragically not going to make it in hospital due to COVID-19, it was tearing his body apart. Somehow, someway, I still managed to keep myself composed. I prayed and I hoped he would make it, and there was nothing wrong by doing that at all. Having said that, I was also mentally preparing myself for the worst outcome, which sadly actually happened. Now, as tragic as it is, holding on to hope is not a bad thing, first of all, because I'd rather be a person that hopes all the way to the end than somebody who just gives up. That's always been my nature. And then you don't have any regrets, do you? By doing this, you pull yourself together and are capable of being strong when life wants you to be weak or things test you. This is a test. And how much more grateful will we be in the future? And by experiencing the worst, and by experiencing tragedy, or coming close to it, and then suddenly things improve, the worst is over, and the best returns. I will keep emphasizing it. Better days are coming. In these times, if you are religious, turning to your higher power, or whatever you believe in, is also a wonderful remedy for anxiety. And not just a remedy, but a philosophy, a way of life. And for all the atheists out there, research Stoic philosophy. Research the idea of expecting the worst, practicing gratitude, but still hoping for the best, and still being content with where you are, regardless of what happens to you in the outside world, and that includes other people. All you have control over is your thoughts, your mind, your faith, and your beliefs. Nothing or nobody will ever take that away from you. Number 4, keep a routine and start up hobbies. If you're returning to work or working from home or doing nothing at home because you have to still self-isolate due to being vulnerable, it is time to structure a routine if you haven't already. Here are the following things I did to keep myself busy, keep my mind busy, and also take my mind away from the stress and anxiety. I started a podcast, The Lockdown Show, which is on my channel. One of the best things I've ever done. I've always wanted to be a podcaster. I've always wanted to interview people and meet people from around the world. And now I have the pleasure of doing so. And this is something that I had way on the back burner, but I pulled it forward. And it's been a wonderful distraction. I've started reading books and comics and graphic novels. That's what I'm into. I started drawing and painting. I've got a real affiliation for art. I played guitar. I'm a musician. I spoke on the phone with friends almost kind of every day. I set up a regular routine to speak to this person, that person, and I started booking people in and vice versa. I exercised in my garden and started going for a walk, something I was terrified about due to what I had experienced and the underlying health issues, but I did so, and it did wonders for my mental health. Here's something that's not really discussed. If you've got a favorite program, try not to binge all of them at one time and be disciplined, and instead watch one episode a day of several shows that you like. So that means you've got something to look forward to the next time you watch television. And of course, I prayed and I meditated due to my religious beliefs. But again, meditation is something that anybody of any background and any belief can participate in. Without a routine of any sort in a lockdown, or if we're still in a pandemic and we're social distancing, you force yourself to go crazy and you can overwhelm yourself with thoughts of worry, pain, suffering, and the world is crushing in on you. But even in your darkest of hours, if you find yourself playing a video game like I did, or even going for a jog alone, or watching your favorite show, you don't even have to be taking it in. I promise you, and I swear to you, that you are doing absolute wonders for your anxiety, your mental health, and your overall well-being as well. Okay? So please keep a routine and start looking into hobbies as well. And number 5, the worst times will pass. Yes, I promise you this. Better days are coming. Every philosophy, every religion, everyone says this, okay? Everything also always works out for the better in the end. Now, we have lost people. We are losing people. It's tragic. It's awful. And when I say work out better in the end, we will learn lessons. We will grow as people. We will make sure, hopefully, as a humanity, as a society, or even as a household, or as a family, or as individuals, how to handle a situation like this better in the future. These are absolutely trying times. We are all, in our own unique ways, suffering in many different shapes or forms. Some have it worse, some have it far better. However, happy times, good times, will return. Better days are just around the corner. Hold on to that. Visualize what you loved about normal times, such as seeing friends, vacations, or even something that I can't stop thinking about, going to get a coffee and sitting outside my favorite coffee shop with a little espresso, my legs crossed, the sun is shining, my glasses are on, and I'm just looking out at people. Something is so simple and basic, but something so beautiful, because we can't do that right now. By focusing on life being normal again, this will help you become far less anxious, and it will help you mentally relax. And guess what? It will help you look forward to something rather than dread something. Instead, if you worry yourself about the uncertainty, then you will only end up making yourself feel so much worse. So in summary, number 1, understand and accept what is going on. 2, be prepared to carry on making essential sacrifices. 3, expect the worst and hope for the best. 4, keep a routine, start some hobbies. 5, the worst times will pass and better days are just around the corner. A special shout out and a thank you to all key workers from all over the globe for keeping us fed, alive, and treating us in this pandemic. God bless you all and stay safe.